Hi, this is W0TM Wodem video. Precious metals, silver and gold. The world is not ending. If you are an investor in silver and gold, you've seen the prices have dropped of recent. I personally am a very long-term investor. I use it as an insurance policy. I consider it to be insurance more than anything else. Insurance for the future. I would much rather be holding something in my hand that has been considered money for the last 5,000 years as opposed to paper fiat currency that has nothing behind it. And as you know, the Federal Reserve is printing $85 billion a month of additional fiat currency with nothing behind it. 40% of 40 cents of every dollar that the federal government is spending right now is made up. You know, they just printed it and are using it. Something that you and I couldn't do. I mean, we'd be in jail, or we'd have our credit cards cut up, or we couldn't, you know, you'd be out of luck. But federal government's doing it. They're going to continue to do that until the whole thing explodes. And I'm not here to go into a long pontification about how silver and gold is manipulated by JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the Federal Reserve, the powers that be. You know what that means for those of you that follow it. But there's, let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, there's a quotation. I wrote this up, and many people in silver and gold have used it over and over and over again. And I'll put it in the. I'll try to put it in the show notes, and let me just read it to you. The end is near, not the end is here. For silver or gold, big difference. As long, and I'm reading, sorry I'm looking down, as long as a bankster, bank that's a crook, can drive the price down an extra penny, why would they not do so, leaving money on the table? We all know the future, but the future is not now. The future is when they run out of silver, or when people of the world give up on the US dollar because there's an unlimited amount in circulation. If I was a bankster boss and had employees showing any mercy at all to those dumb enough to buy paper silver, and there's more paper and gold silver on the US stock exchange than there is hard metal, which is just hard for me to believe, I would fire them immediately. Their days of owning the price of paper silver are not over yet. So I'm saying the end is near, the end is not here. They will not relent one single day or even hour before they are forced to by the law of supply and demand. Eventually, the law of supply and demand, at least in silver, where the amount of silver has dropped by like 90% in the world in the last 20 years. It hasn't in gold. The amount of gold increased by like a factor of 10. But the fact that so many world governments have been buying gold for their own sovereign wealth funds, because of that, gold prices have stayed up. There's virtually no industrial uses for gold. You know, other than jewelry, there's nothing to do with gold, other than use it as a storage of wealth sucked down in some vault underneath JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the Federal Reserve, so on and so forth. Fort Knox, if you believe there's gold, I'm not going to get into that. That'll get me in a lot of trouble. You know, what I'm telling you is silver is not going to stay down forever. Gold is not going to stay down forever. The fiat currencies of the world, fiat currency has lasted more than 80 years, ever. There's been 400 fiat currencies in the world come and go in the last 150 years. The U.S. dollar is approaching 80 years, 1913, or I guess 100 years. When the Federal Reserve Bank was formed and they went over to the new currency of the Federal Reserve, that's been, 100 years ago. And the inflation rate has caused it to drop by like 99% since 1913. Look at the price of bread in 1913 versus what it is today. A penny, I can remember when I was a kid that a penny used to buy something. You could actually buy some candy for a penny. And yeah, I'm old, but I'm not that old. And I can remember taking a penny to a store and actually walking out with a couple of, gumballs or something like. And you can't do that now. You go into a Starbucks and walk out with a $12 latte, something or other. And I don't do that, but other people do. So just, if you're concerned about your silver and gold, if you're into that, and by the way, what I do, I always tell people, keep it, if you have silver and gold, keep it well dispersed, keep it well hidden. I do both. It would, won't take the name of God in vain, but it would take God about a half an hour to find where I've got it. So you're not going to walk in my house and just walk over and pick it up. So anyway, if you're involved in precious metals, have faith. If you're a speculator and you expect your investments to go up, be in the stock market. Speculate in options and futures and so forth. Gold and silver and commodities in general. What I'm telling people now, and in fact what I'm personally doing, I should be with the price of silver where it is now, I should be putting more money into silver, but I've got enough in silver that additional money, there are other things, you can do besides silver. I mean, there's everything. I know people that have stockpiled liquor. I know a friend owns a liquor store primarily because he says, this is my end of the world bank account. If the end of the world happens, people are, liquor is still going to be worth money. I have another friend that I think he's kind of gone off the deep end. He's got 4 bedrooms filled full of toilet paper. You pause to laugh. But hey, worst comes to worst, he's going to have a fortune there. There are many other things. You can go to a website. There's 3 or 4 different good Chinese portals, search engines to find good, solid Chinese companies. Yes, I know, buy USA, but still, you're looking after yourself now. If you go, one I like best is called Alibaba, ALIBABA, Alibaba.com. It's a search engine that you can put anything into it, like pocket knives, flashlights, coils of rope, wire, medicine kits. These little medicine kits you buy for like $8 at CVS. Alibaba for like 75 cents. Go on there, spend a couple $1,000s, and you'll walk out, or your UPS truck will show up, and you'll have stuff that CVS and Walmart and others are selling, for like 10 times what you paid. So there are more items in the world that you can put money into besides gold and silver that will be worth something no matter what. The guy that has toilet paper, he's got a fortune there. The guy that's got, all the liquor, the guy that's got, 1,000 flashlights or 1,000, boxes of matches, just goes on and on. Honey, there's another thing. Honey lasts. There are various things you do for buying things you can use to barter. That's the key word, barter. Honey will last for thousands of years. So you buy honey cheaply. You can buy, that's just one of Many. There are websites that list hundreds of good items that you can buy. You buy things that are small, lightweight, you try to, that people will need, not want, but need, and no matter what happens in the world, they will need to have fresh water, food, all the things. Go to, for instance, Amazon, put in ER bars, 3,600 calorie bars, ER bars, and you'll find a product that is sealed. It's got a 20-year shelf life. Actually, I think it's, they think it's at least 20. It's probably 50 to 100. And it's hard as a brick. It tastes like chocolate, and it just melts in your mouth. You put it in your mouth and just let it melt all day long. And it supposedly has all of the nutrients that a human body needs. It comes in a brick, and I call it a brick because it feels like a brick. You can buy those from Amazon, or you can buy them from the manufacturer, other places to buy them. There's all kinds of things you can do to stock up, to have things in reserve that will keep you and your family, body, soul together and doing okay no matter what happens in the world. In the meantime, those are places that you can store your wealth that'll always be worth money. Buying canned goods that have shelf lives of 3 or 4 or 5 years. Buy them this year, use them next year. Because of inflation, you actually make money. You make money because you bought something right now for 90 cents a can that a year from now might be $1.10. So you use it a year from now and you picked up 20 cents. It's pretty basic math. I do that. It works great. So actually, if you do it on paper, I make money at it. I don't do it to make money, but there you go. You do. So rather than silver and gold, if you've got it now, I personally recommend that you hold. You can do what you want, but I look at the long term. I look at decades. I started buying silver in the 1960s. It goes that far back, and I never sold an ounce, and probably never will. And the way things are, most likely my grandchildren will be very wealthy from it. It may take that long for the price to get up to where they say it will eventually, but because they're the powers that be, J.P. Morgans of the world, and the federal government and Treasury and federal, everybody has so much abilities to involuntarily suppress and manipulate the prices of gold and silver and paper money, and there's nothing that's in the free market that is finding its own price that is a common typical item. Everything the law of supply and demand has been set aside for the time being, so that the federal government can tell us, oh, inflation's only 1% or something. Well, they do that by pulling out energy, pulling out food, pulling out everything, and that's left, like buying a TV set or buying a computer or whatever. Yeah, the inflation is, those things go down in price, and they get to pat themselves in the back and say that, inflation is next to nothing, so we're doing a good job. And then you go down to the grocery store and you look at your basket of groceries, and boy, you pull a $100 bill and you're not buying very much. But never fear, the government's telling you that there's no inflation, everything's fine. Silver and gold has been money for 5,000 years. It will be money 5,000 years from now. But I can tell me how much any coin that was made, even the year 1800, 1700, 1400, Roman coins, whatever, yeah, they're worth money as collector's items, but you can't go down and put them in a Coke machine and get something for it. It doesn't happen. So, the fiat currency, paper money and so forth, comes and goes, and I'll guarantee you it will come, and it's come and will go. But the hard metals, even the things that are not precious metals, copper, zinc, so forth, they'll always have a value. They'll always be worth something. So, personally, my, the metals that I have, they're going nowhere. And I talk to dealers, and I know quite a few of them. Every one of them tells me that they get about one seller for every 100 buyers. And that has changed. As the price has dropped, if anything, there's been more buying. The buying continues to increase. People are buying more and more and more metals because they know what's going on. It means that people are, that the world is going to be giving up paper currency. And just like musical chairs, you don't want to be the last one standing when the music stops. And with paper money, the music's going to stop. Can't make it any simpler than that. So anyway, silver and gold, the end is near, but the end is not here. And I'll put that down below again. So the end of the world's not here. So just have faith, have patience. Everything will be fine. It'll go up, it'll go down. But you're in it. You should be in it for the long term. If you're not, you got in. Somebody gave you bad advice, and you shouldn't have been into it to start with. So I'll end it with that. And best of luck to you. And I'll have comments. And when will it go back up? I have no idea. So you can send me an email asking. You better to go ask J.P. Morgan, Ben Bernanke, the people that artificially manipulate the prices. They could set, right now, they still control the prices. You'll have to ask them. If they wanted to make gold and silver prices go up by a factor of 10 right now, they could do it. It could be tomorrow morning, and it could happen. But it's up to them, it's not up to me. So the laws of supply and demand have been set aside for the time being. So just keep that in mind, and hopefully you didn't put me into it that you couldn't afford to have sit for a while. If you need money to eat and so forth, and you sold everything you had, put it all in gold or silver, that was not smart to do. So I hope you didn't do that. I've never told people to do that. I've always said only put money in things like that you can afford to park for decades. That's what I've done. That's what you should have done. I hope you did it. So with that, it's Zero-TM signing off, and see you next time. Thanks. Nice chatting with you. It's been a while, so I'll try to be on video more often. See you later. Take care. Bye.